Do you want to grow a lush spring and a summer garden? Well, you have come to the right place, and it all starts in February.
And the first one is parsley. Parsley is the only herb that can survive really cold temperatures, and it's hardy down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 12 degrees Celsius. Now, if you're zone 8 and above, you can start growing seeds of parsley indoors and keep growing them for about 2 to 3 weeks. Once the seedlings grow to about 2 to 3 inches, you can transplant them outside. For zone 7 and below, you can start growing parsley indoors, keep them on your kitchen counter, and then you can transplant your parsley outside in March or April. Number 2, onions. Now you can start onions from sets or from seeds. And the cheapest way to start onions is from seeds, and they're really easy to grow. What I do is I take a flat like this, just an open flat, and then I fill it with potting soil. And then I sprinkle my onion seed right on top, layer it one more time with a ½ inch of potting soil, and then I water it. In about 2 to 3 weeks, onions will start to grow, and then you can take these sets and transplant them right into your garden and start to grow onions. So you can harvest your onions as green onions or let them go to maturity. Number 3, leeks. Now leeks are perfect to start growing in February. They are frost hardy, and they also can withstand cold temperatures down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 6 degrees Celsius. And when leeks starts to grow in about a month, transplant them outside, and make sure you transplant your seedlings at least 6 inches deep, and plant spacing should be 6 inches to 8 inches apart. Number 4, kale. Now kale is a really good contender to start growing in February.
Kale is hardy down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 6 degrees Celsius. Kale is frost resistant. However, kale leaves can get wilted in frost, so cover them with a plastic tote or some greenhouse plastic to enjoy delicious, tender kale leaves.
Number 5, Swiss chard.
A Swiss chard is hardy down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and Swiss chard is super easy to grow. Now you can start harvesting kale and Swiss chard leaves as soon as the plant gets about 4 sets of leaves, and you can keep harvesting older leaves and encourage new leaves to grow.
Number 6, collard greens.
Now collard greens are hardy down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. They can tolerate frost and some snow as well.
Now kale, Swiss chard, and collard greens are frost hardy, and they can withstand cold temperatures really well, and they're perfect to grow in February. However, you must start them indoors, and when the seedlings get to about 2 inches tall, that's when you transplant them outside. This is because the seeds still need optimal conditions to start germinating and start growing into seedlings. Number 7, peas. Now peas are my favorite to start growing in January and February, and that's because peas are really easy to grow.
And they are very quick to germinate. Pea seeds germinate in about 3 days, and you can have pea seedlings in about 5 days.
So if you are a beginner gardener, I highly recommend starting with peas, and you will not fail. Number 8, carrots. Now carrots are also really good to start growing in February.
Carrots are also frost resistant, and they are hardy down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 9 degrees Celsius. Make sure you have loose soil to grow carrots, or grow carrots in a raised bed. You must have at least 12 inches or 1 foot of loose soil to grow carrots. So growing carrots in raised beds is preferred. In 3 months, you can start harvesting carrots.
Number 9, radish.
Radish is also really fast growing, and you can start harvesting radish just 30 days after planting. Radishes can take light frost, and they are hardy down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 2 degrees Celsius.
Now you must plant carrot and radish directly into your garden. They don't transplant well since they are root vegetables. So if you live in an area where it snows and your ground is covered in snow, you must clear out an area in your garden and protect it with a hoop house or a greenhouse. However, if you're in zone 8 and above, you can directly sow carrots and radishes right into your garden and start growing in February.
Number 10, cauliflower. Now cauliflower loves cold temperature and is hardy down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is nearly 6 degrees Celsius. So be sure to start some cauliflower seeds in February. Number 11, cabbage. Now cabbage is also cold hardy to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is nearly 6 degrees Celsius. However, pests love cauliflower and cabbage, so you must spray your cauliflower and cabbage plants with neem oil almost every single week. Number 12, broccoli. Now broccoli is hardy down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit, which is nearly 2 degrees Celsius, and broccoli is a little bit easier to grow as compared to cauliflower and cabbage. Now always start these seeds indoors first, and when the seeds develop into seedlings and your ground is free of snow, you can transplant them outside in your garden. Now in zone 8 and above, you can do this in February. However, for zone 7 and below, this will very likely be in March.
Now let's cover starting summer vegetables in February. Now there are certain summer vegetables you must start early on, at least 2 months before your last frost date. And that's because these summer vegetables take much longer to grow into a seedling. If you plant them a little late, if you plant them in March or April, you will not get vegetable all the way until the end of July or even beginning of August. So in order to get a head start, you can sow seeds of these summer vegetables indoors in your trays and keep them indoors for about 2 months or until your last frost date. always plant your summer vegetables after the danger of frost is over. Otherwise, frost will take them out. And these summer vegetables are number 13, tomatoes, our favorite.
Every gardener likes to grow tomatoes, and it is a no-brainer to grow tomatoes in summer. However, I recommend growing heirloom tomatoes along with cherry tomatoes and yellow pear tomatoes. These tomatoes are absolutely delicious. The determinate variety of tomatoes produce tomatoes all at once, while indeterminate tomatoes keep producing all summer long.
Number 14, eggplants.
There are many different varieties of eggplants. The two varieties I like to grow are Japanese eggplants and black beauty eggplants. Eggplants grow throughout the summer and keep producing up until fall.
And number 15, peppers. And you can grow hot peppers and sweet peppers.
You can start your pepper seedlings in February and transplant them outside after the danger of frost is over. This way the plants can start producing peppers in May and you can enjoy harvesting peppers early on in summer.
Now there are certain summer vegetables such as cucumbers, squashes, such as zucchini, pumpkins, and other summer vegetables that you do not want to start early on because they grow really fast and you have to transplant outside in about a week or two right after they start growing into seedlings. So squashes and melons and cucumbers, hold off until March or April to start them indoors, or you can even directly seed them into your garden when the danger of frost is over.